All right. Well, RPGaDay has concluded. I've done all 31 videos. However, I was looking at it tonight on the BrigadeCon website, and for anything I didn't have an answer for, I was supposed to look at the possible alternate questions. Well, I didn't know that. In fact, all I had that I was using before was the picture. My fault. I should have went and checked this out. In fact, I did go to this page a few times and read the stuff, but I didn't read the whole thing. So that's on me. My bad. So you guys are getting some bonus questions in this video. Again, this will be rapid fire. I'm going to go through the rest of this page on the brigadecon.org website. And so if you want to answer them on your channel or, you know, whatever, go for it. But anyway, so here we go. The first one is, how does your group like to start a session? Quickly. Usually we sit down to play. I'm usually writing some last minute things down, or I'm pulling some miniatures out. And they're at that time, once everyone's sitting down, they kind of try to rush me along. They're always like, okay, let's do this. And I'm, you know, so I then usually say, okay, fine. One of you do a recap while I finish up. So yeah, usually really quickly, they like to jump right in. I like to start it personally with where we left off and where they had mentioned they were going, because I try to ask players where they think they're going at the end of the previous session in order to help me prep better for the following session. This is number 2. What are good ways for the group to support the host on game night? What we do is, since we host the game at our house, my wife usually cooks dinner for everyone, and we request that either one player, or however they want to, someone brings snacks or snacks and drinks, and you know, obviously we supply the dinner and the game, so, and the place. So really just snacks and drinks are good. Besides that, I mean, I'm sure there's some things here and there you can do. What we've done as well is not necessarily helping the host, but helping the DM. We share some responsibility, not much. I actually keep a lot of it on myself still. But yeah, I mean, we don't really do anything other than the food thing, food and drinks. Number 3, and in fact, if you have something that you can add to that, please post it below. I'd love to hear it, because maybe it'll help my group out. Number 3, what is your preferred method of character improvement and why? I'm assuming this means leveling up, for example. I know some people don't like level systems. Some people that do like level systems don't like XP. They like milestones, things like that. I've only played with milestones. I've never DM'd with milestones. I kind of like XP. However, we have been talking about using milestones in my my home groups. It's something we've discussed but have not banked on yet. And I like when a new person joins a group, I usually like them to start at first level so they can get used to their character. So maybe milestones is the way to go, and then I just say, okay, you level up, every session until they're the same level. That way they still get the gradual comfort with that character. But yeah, so that's where I'm going with it. Milestones, the reason I'm thinking of that is less tracking on my part, more focus on the actual game, and so I think that would help. Other things you can do is, instead of giving them levels or a bunch of magic, well, you can give them magic items, you can give them extra skills every now and then based on how they play their character, things like that. Maybe you give them a specialization. Maybe it's not in your game, but you say, hey, you have a specialization, you get an extra bonus when you do this. Stuff like that would be pretty cool. Number 4, if you could relive your gaming, if you could relive your gaming years so far, what would you want to do more of? If you could relive your gaming years so far, what would you want to do more of? That's a tough question. I think I would probably spend more time playing games and running games. And I wish there was a period of time for about 8 years, I didn't even open an RPG book, and I really am bummed out about that. If I'd have started my collection of games and miniatures and everything through that 8 years, I can only imagine, what things would be like now. So I guess I wish I did more gaming. I also wish early on I was more open to other systems. I was dead set on Palladium books and could never find a group. And that's part of why I got away from playing RPGs for that 8 years-ish. I think I played like once online maybe in there, and it wasn't working for me. Luckily, my wife got me back into RPGs. Number 5, what benefits do you see in having clearly defined occupations for characters in an RPG? I think it allows for a lot of good role-playing opportunity, whether it's a character's knowledge of certain specific things, or maybe an explanation for why they have some of the skills they have. And I think when you can do that as a player and can explain why your character knows what they know or have this ability, I think it makes a huge difference and improvement on that player knowing their character better. Whereas if you don't have those things, I think it's really easy to just go, okay, my character is strong, he's smart. You look at the numbers rather than the fluff or the role-playing aspects. So that's what I think on that. Number 6, identify an underrepresented genre in RPGs that you would like to see more of. Superheroes. I'd love to see more superhero games. I know most of them turn out really bad, but I think I would love to see more superhero games. With the popularity of superhero art or superhero movies and comic books and things like that, and and cosplay. I mean, I don't know. It feels like superheroes in general, maybe it's because of the movies, has just really gotten a lot more popular recently. When I was little, which would have been probably, I would say, mid-90s, seemed like superheroes were really hot, and then they kind of dipped for a while, and it seems like now, the last 8 years or so, 6 years, they've really started to make a comeback again and become the cool thing. So I think I would love to see some superheroes more. Maybe that's something I need to get on. All right. And the last one, well, it might not be. I got to read the next parts. But why should someone GM a role-playing game? I think this is interesting. If you should or shouldn't, I guess doesn't really matter, but I try to encourage everyone to do it for many reasons. One of them is because you never truly understand how much is going on for that one person until you've done it. I've heard players complain about specific GMs because, they don't listen to me. And it's like, well, yeah, there were 3 people talking to them all at once the whole time. It's hard fielding 20,000 questions and keeping the game going all at once. Or your idea wasn't heard because the other person talked louder, or you sat further back at the table. There's a lot of things like that. I know that sounds like the negative side, but the positives, there's a lot of things you can learn about the system. It forces you to learn things. It forces you to look at a game in a different way. On top of that, I feel like as a GM, it's always fun. Even if you have a so-so session, it's still almost always fun because you're always engaged and always involved. Whereas if you're a player at a so-so session, it might just be like, man, that was really boring because I had to wait really long for my turn and things like that. So there's a lot there to think about, and I think GMing is fantastic. It's what I tend to prefer. I like to play every once in a while, but I prefer to run a game. So then it says, still struggling with questions. We hope this guide can help. Concerns with different types. Okay, that's not really anything. Oh, then it's all in French and other languages, and yep, that's not for me. I'm English only. So yeah, that's the the questions. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to give you guys my best answers at spur of the moment. And yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts below, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.